Hi, my name's Dale Obrochta, and we're streaming live on Twitch today. And today I want to talk about something totally different than just about SEO, marketing, TikTok, and all that fun stuff. I'm talking about auditing a website. And we're going to go... Now, this could go really deep, and I don't want to go really deep because I'll lose a lot of people on this, but I'm going to talk about the basic things that you need to look at when you're auditing a website. Now, you may be wondering, what is it when I say auditing a website? Well, auditing a website is the process of reviewing it and analyzing it, how it works today compared to when you originally designed the website. Now, my website is... Geez, it was developed in 1997. I originally developed it, and it's been going on for almost 23 years now. And in the process, things have changed. At one time, I was developing the website to act different with different web browsers because basically we had a whole bunch of web browsers. Everybody was using desktop computers. Then as time changed, we went from this web browsing to just one or two web browsers, and it became Apple versus Chrome. And those were the two browsers that almost everybody was developing for. And then things shifted again. We started getting into the world of phones, and phones were starting to actually pull up data. And at that point, everything was still text-based. And then we got into tablets, and everything started becoming more visual, or the WYSIWYG format. What you see is what you get format. And as that started to happen, websites developed from basically text-based to graphic-based to a mix to then video. And as your website develops, the search engine technology changes. And when it changes, we actually have to see what we did a couple years ago. Is it still relevant today? Is it important that, all our customers are using laptops to access our data, or are they using cell phones? And if that's the case, we have to analyze the way our web page is being browsed and viewed, and that's where we do these audits. Now, the SEO audit is actually looking at speed, it's looking at the way the page loads, it's looking at the back end, the way this was actually coded. And years ago, when we used to code websites, it was really quick and easy because we used to type in the code. And then as things got more complicated, the code got heavier. And we went from actually producing websites, HTML, to actually converting them. And a lot of people use these pre-built templates, which you get in WordPress, which is probably the most popular one right now is WordPress. So people are using WordPress, but you're going to find that WordPress, as much as people love it and use it, it is not the greatest tool sometimes when it comes to SEO because you're trying to make things pretty. The developer is writing the code to make things pretty. They're not worrying about speed. The most current information I have right now is Google is looking at pages that are loading 2 to 3 seconds. That's what they're looking for, which makes it difficult if you have a large website with a lot of data and you're using a WordPress page. It just becomes difficult to do. So this is where we're going to get into the self-audit. That's what we're going to do today. That's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to use my website, and I'm going to switch over here real quick so you could see my website on the page here. Here's my website. I have a couple of checkers that we're going to be talking about. This is my website. It is an HTML website, which means that this is all text I've coded. This is not text that I just went out and it's not a WordPress. It's not a theme. I do have a blog on here. This has been converted as it's in the process of a nonstop process. There's over 2,000 pages here. Very large website. It's being converted to making sure everything's mobile friendly, updated, loading quicker, which is a lot of work to do. Unlike if I go into the blog, which is a very boom, 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 quick pop snap, due to the fact that it's a WordPress site. It could load quick. I could put in plugins and I can make the site move, which again, depending on which theme you're using, will determine your speed ratio. So I have different type formats for different type plugins, or meaning I have HTML and I have WordPress. So depending on what the tool is, I have to configure things different to get the most optimal speed. So let's look at this. If we're doing an SEO audit on our site, we're going to be looking at internal load time, and I'm not really just looking at the words, but I'm actually looking at the optimization of how the system actually runs. So the first tool that you need to know about is the PageSpeed Insights. This is a Google tool. It's part of the developmental tool. It's a really good tool because it's going to tell you how fast your site loads on a desktop, which is what I originally designed everything for, because years ago, everybody had desktops. That's where my market was. And my market still is, a good portion of it is still on desktops. I deal with libraries, I deal with schools, I deal with park districts, and majority of the people, private parties, and even going with schools now, the principal uses the computer. The librarian uses their computer. The park district administrator uses the computer. So this loads real quick for them. But what I've seen in my industry, and this is where I have to do an SEO audit, is parents now who hire me for private parties, or PTO moms who are Googling on their phones. That's right, using their phones. So I have to look at my mobility index, which is 87, which is getting there. I'm pushing it to 90. And these are some of the things that I have to look at. Now, the nice part about this is it actually loads and it gives you a couple ideas. These are the main things that they look at: how many milliseconds it takes to load, how to improve times, and it actually gives you ideas on what needs to be changed. And you could go through, and this one right here, eliminating block, I'm still working on that one. That's something that's in progress. Remove unused CSS. Some of these things now, if I'm doing in WordPress, it's real easy. I just click a button and WordPress has an app to go through it. But because I've actually developed these things, I have to actually go through and manually figure out what's being set, what's not being set. Just like this image right here, I have to change that. I thought I did to a WebP format, and there's text that I put in, and that will load actually 3K less, giving me a little speed, give me about 15 millisecond increase, which again will increase my actual load time, which may bump me up to maybe an 88, maybe 89. I don't think I'm going to get that big of a bump off just this. So if you have a website, what you need to do is go out there and go to, all you have to do is real easy. Go to PageSpeed Insights in Google, click on that. That's going to take you to this right here. This is your URL. I'm actually going to put that link down at the bottom of the website so you don't have to do that. Go out there and test your website. And if your website is bombing, I mean, if I have pulled up competitors' websites and I see that they're loading a 25 on desktop. Now, what does that mean for Google ranking? Well, what that's actually going to do is change where you're at in the Google ranking, because Google wants to load the best, fastest pages first. Now, here's the thing. If I have a great loading desktop page, an okay loading mobile page, I'm going to be ranked better than the person who has a bad mobile page and a bad desktop page. It's just there. But if I have a fast-loading desktop and a fast-loading mobile, I am going to rank higher than the person who has that fast-loading desktop and the slow-loading mobile, that is. So what Google does is reward the people who have the best optimized sites. That gives them the best ranking. Again, SEO is about ranking, so that means that the better our website performs, the more efficient our athlete is, which is our website, the better it's going to produce in the Google searches. It's going to be load on people's desktops and tablets faster and their phones faster. So it's a win-win-win. So Google wants everybody to win, and this is the tool to do this. You may find that your pages load real quick in this format, but again, slower in another format. Perfect example. I'm going to go to my blog page, and I'm going to show you here my blog. Now, my blog is different because I'm running an old website here. When I say an old website, it's 23 years old. I developed it. It's on a Windows server. Windows servers are known to be slow when it comes to WordPress. WordPress does not like Microsoft web servers. It wants to run on a Linux system, and it runs smooth that way. But I'm going to take this page right here. This is my main page. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to bring it over here. And you go page by page, folks. You could actually do this. I'm going to analyze this page. You're going to see my page right here being analyzed right for you. And it's going to actually show what I've been doing over the last couple weeks here, trying to optimize this page to load the fastest. Now, 83, which is not bad because I'm on a Windows server. I applaud myself because when I first started this was like at a 51. I mean, it was down there. If I look at the desktop version, 90, woo, which is great for desktop. So if you're seeing my blog on the desktop, it's great. And you can see all the timing in here, everything. Now, the reduction of server speed here, folks, this is just because I'm on a Windows server. There's not a lot I could do on this. I have one of the fastest loading templates out there. It is just the server. It is just a slow server. I can't say it's a slow server. It's a Windows server. So for me working my normal HTML page, it is lightning fast. But for running a WordPress site, we don't really run WordPress sites on Windows. Now, you may be saying, well, Dale, why are you doing that? Why are you running a Windows site? Well, I used Front Page at the time, Front Page or Dreamweaver Front Page that actually liked to work better on Windows Server. It actually had ASP running on there, which was my forum. I had e-commerce that all liked to work on the Windows platform. So here it is about some 10 years later, 12 years later, I start doing WordPress and blogs. I started that around 2008. So here it is, some 12 years ago, I started WordPress, which was in its infinite stage, and didn't know any better. Now I'm to the point where I'm questioning, do I want to actually switch server? And then I'm worried about, all my SEO links that I've built all these years to establish, on how I'm going to lose them, how I'm going to manage them. So that's why I've done that. But in the meantime, if I could crank out my performance as I have, you can see it's not that much far from a regular HTML page that I get the feeling I'm still holding out there. I'm still doing good. I'm still doing better than a lot of my competition. Again, if you're on the desktop, 90%, I got some tweaking I could do. But again, there's not a lot that I could really do here. There's a couple things that maybe I could improve it to that 93, 94. But again, these numbers are going to change. So again, do a page speed. That's your first audit you want to do on your website, just to see how it's loading. Secondary, we have these websites. I'm going to go back here to my main page. This website right here, when I built this years ago, had a lot of links to it. And over time, what happens is the links, they deteriorate. Pages go missing. I've had e-commerce sites. I've had 2 different e-commerce websites on here. I got some links buried. I got 2,000 pages in here. So there's a lot of information in here. Well, there is another website that you could go to. I actually Googled this. It's moz.com blog, best free SEO tools. I'll put the link on the bottom here again. But there was a tool in here that's going to give you a whole bunch of tools. Some of these are really cool. You're going to go down there, and if you scroll down to the very bottom, you're going to get to Google Analytics. You're going to get to some of these insights, some of the new ones. Yoast is here for your SEO if you're using WordPress. There's a whole series of them in here. Speed Monitor is another one. I've used a lot of these over the years. Here's the PageSpeed insight right here that we were talking about. Boom, boom, boom. It's right there for you. Now, I want to go into another one that I found in here before I go in here was a add-in. I use Chrome. I'm a PC guy, so I have Chrome. Chrome has an add-in. It's called SEO Minion. And SEO Minion, I'm going to click it on right here. I get a lot of little buttons. SEO Minion does a couple things in here for me. It allows me to check page by page what I'm looking at. So I could actually go in and look at a page, analyze the page. I also, let's try this. Let's see what the NFL does. Let me see if I can pull up the NFL. I haven't tried this, folks. This is going to be interesting to do here. Let's see if I can pull up the Minion. All right, here we go. All right, so we could actually analyze. Now, what does this actually mean? I'm actually going to be able to actually look at my competitor's website and do some analytics and see how they rank in their SEOs versus how I'm ranking. So here's the thing, some people scream, oh man, you got to do an audit. And then you look at your competitors and you realize that if you are better than your competitor, your ranking, you have less work to do than your competitor. You could see where your competitor outranks you versus not. This is something that is gold for anybody who's doing SEO, is to be able to go out and look at their competitor's website, analyze what your competitor's doing, find their weaknesses, and then just hammer their weakness. Just like the NFL does every week. Find your competitor's weakness, beat them down, win the game, and away you go. That's what we're doing here. So in this example right here, I'm actually, and I need to move my window out of the way here. I actually have some rankings in here. I could actually see what my headline texts are. I could actually go down here, any open graphics. If there's there's an OG title tag missing. Hey, we're looking at the NFL, multi-billion-dollar industry, folks, that, have some things missing here. A Twitter title, I guess if you tweet this, they want to know. This is all the information that's being pulled up from this page right here, which is really cool to take a look at. Now, I could go back and look at highlights, all links. These are the links on the page. These are the highlighted links. So I could go into my competitor and see exactly what words they're actually highlighting, what words they're not being highlighted. It tells you, all the links here, follow links, no follow. Check broken links. This is nice. You could check and see if they have any broken links. This is what I was talking about. You want to be able to go on your website and check broken links. Now, for all those people out there who are using WordPress, all right, you may be going, well, I don't have any broken links. That may not be the case. If you've done any tweaks on your theme and you've done a smart permalink, which is that link up at the top, instead of saying maybe a date like 20 or 2002-17 well, 17 wouldn't be right. It'd be like 2002-12- what's today's date? 16th or 17th dash another number. That is not SEO friendly. SEO would like to see the word. So in that link, it would like to see something that would say top 10 tips for SEO marketing. And that's actually the title of your document, your Word document in that case, or your WordPress document. So if you've gone through and modified your links throughout your document, there sometimes those links can get bogged up, tied up, mislinked, and you'll find that even in WordPress, you could have a broken link. Now, the nice part about this is right here, I'm checking all the links right here. Man, it's got a lot of links. It's checking the whole site. It's going through looking for links. It's looking for internal and external. External links are the sites that go off. Follow links, no follow. These, interesting is follow, no follow. Let me explain what that is right here. This link. I look funny. I'm looking at one monitor. I'm looking the opposite way, folks, but I'm actually looking at my monitor over there. This follow, no follow. What happens? People tell you, let me get my back up here on my screen. People will always tell you, improve your SEO. Go out and blog on other people's websites. Well, yeah, it'd be cool to go to the NFL, respond to one of their articles and put a comment and then link it back to your website. NFL is ranked like, number 9 or 10. It's got a huge page ranking. It's a juggernaut. People link to it. It's a powerhouse. You type in NFL and NFL.com comes to the top of the search engine. It's one of the most powerful web pages out there. If I could get something to link back from them to me, gives my site authority and credibility. Well, to avoid giving out power to sites that don't need it, we have, as web designers, the ability to say no follow, and that's what a lot of companies do, especially in the WordPress world, is they'll have this no follow option set on. The no follow option basically is saying that absorb the content, but then don't go down and start absorbing up other people's content. Stay on our website, so do not follow that link off. Well, when you have that follow, you want to be able to have that engine crawl from that site to your site and keep that authority going. But when you set that no follow-up, that kind of breaks that. Even though it captures that data and you got the link back, it's not as powerful as it crawls. So it's keeping the crawl all on the NFL site. So this is, like I said, it's a fun little tool to play around with. It's your hrefs. These are your heading references. This is going to check to make sure they're there. Let me go back here. Now, I'm going to actually go back to my website here. I know my website a little better than the NFL website. So let me go back up here again and click this on. Again, it's going to go through. It gives me the status codes. It's indexable, followable, yes. Redirects, I have a redirect on here to redirect from an HTTP to an HTTPS. Gives me more security code. So there is a redirect right here. So if you do type in this, you're going to be actually showing this on the website. So that's a redirect again. Back in the old days, HTTP was what we did. Nothing was HTTPS unless you were an e-commerce site. And nowadays, with hackers, everybody has gone to the HTTPS because it's a secure site, locked down, more protection. So again, that rates, if you didn't realize this, folks, a HTTPS ranks higher than an HTTP site in the SEO world. So that's what was the push. Now, in the old days, I used to have to buy a certificate for my e-commerce website that, $200 a year or $100 a year eventually went down to, that would secure that site and put it on a special part of the server. Now, I have 9 sites with GoDaddy. GoDaddy automatically gave that to me. They just gave me, hey, we're just giving everybody the yes now. My host provider just does this automatically for me now. I don't have to do that because they have found that security is greater and hacking is less when you have an HTTPS. In fact, if you don't have the HTTPS, Google will actually say unsecure site and actually rank you lower. So that's part of your audit too. So if you don't have an HTTPS, you want to get one, because that's going to help with your SEO ranking. And again, that's what we're talking about, is looking at the little things that over time that you probably never thought about, you now need to think about. Really say. So let me take you into another tool here, because I'm trying to keep this simple. Yes, I know there's a lot here still to talk about, but I'm trying to keep this simple. The 60 best tools, again, I'm going to put that link in here. They got a lot of tools in here. One they didn't have that I actually have been using lately is Dr. Link Check. Now, Dr. Link Check, like I said, I have a lot of links here. It allows me up to 1,500 links to check. Well, guess what? I bomb out at 1,500. I still have more than that. My website is freaking huge, folks. So I'm taking you in here, but what I'm looking at are broken links, okay? I'm looking at how many links, like server errors, timeout errors, again, depending on what it's checking. I could go in here and take a look. I have forums that I'm going to. I got Google I'm linking to. I got other websites I'm linking to. YouTube videos I'm linking to. Twitter I'm linking to. Here's my do not follow area pulled up in my robot area. But what I'm looking right now here is this one right here. Let's look at broken. See, I don't have any backlink issues. You have to actually buy. Outbound, these are going off to other websites. There is, I don't remember where the tool is at the moment. I think you have to go through Google Analytics. You go through Google Analytics and you could do all the sites that link from you, from somebody else to you. Now you may be thinking, well, what does that actually mean? Well, if somebody found content on your website and they link back from your website or their website to your website, that gives you page ranking. That helps you. So the more people that link to your page, the more credible your page becomes. That's why everybody links to the NFL, because the NFL is the source for information. When it comes to anything about football, NFL ranks the highest. So think about your industry. If you have directories, if you have articles, if you have other things that are written that highlight your company and link back to your company, a B2B type environment, you're going to get a better ranking. This is why most industry websites rank very high due to the fact that a lot of people on their website will say they're part of association. So that association then has all these professional companies ranking them higher. So that's the ranking system. Now what happens is over the years, you're going to find that some of these pages that linked or linked to you are now gone. They could be pages that were put up about an article about your president of the corporation, getting an award. Well, that president was 2 presidents ago. That information's out there. It's not linking. So you have to go back and check those links to see if they're still linking to linking pages, or are they hitting 404 pages, which are pages not found. And that's a problem because it's not actually linking to your website. If that's the case, you have to backtrace that link, find out where it's coming from the article, contact the person who wrote the article and say, please change that link to an active link. And I've had people actually do that where they've contacted me and said, hey, Dale, you wrote an article about such and such, and actually we have the new improved version of it. Can you link from that product to this product? Because that's actually what we want to do. Which now from my end means I have a reason to update the story. I go in there and I could do an update saying, take the old link out, put a new blurb in saying, newfound data has shown that blah, 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 blah. Or you may have seen in some articles where people just they just X out the old information and put a new paragraph in and saying this document's been updated. And that way it refreshes old material, keeps the old material in the new SEO ranking, and you don't have to rewrite all that information all over again. Now, you wouldn't have known any of this if you didn't do a self-audit and realize that, some of my blogs are out of date. Maybe I should update the blog instead of rewriting the blog, because those people all are linking to that blog, and that old blog has a better ranking than the new blog that you actually write. So, man, there's a lot to auditing a website. And this is just the minor end, because what you have to start doing is, like these backlinks. If I look at my broken links, these are links that, again, I have a website down right here. I know this website's down due to the fact that Google has done a move. It's a WordPress, and guess what? They somehow disconnected my database from the actual template. So I actually have to, be on the phone with Google GoDaddy for the next day and a half trying to get that issue straightened out. I got a mistype in here, just one of my headings I found out, redirect issue. My old online store, I used to have an online store. Well, here's a reference to it. It's in this page right here. If I actually click on here, guess what? I'm going to go to this page. Guess what? I'm going to see that link right up here. That's the link that needs to get removed. So that's an old link, old page. This page hasn't been converted to the new mobile format, but it still loads fast, still compliant with 90% of desktop requirements. It just has to be converted over. So it gives me the ranking, but not the highest ranking that I want. But it's giving me a downgrade because I have balloon supplies in here, which is an old link, and I found that link here. So that means I can now go into my editor, erase that link. Guess what? That'll drop out of here and eventually raise my SEO scores, improving my search engine in Google because I've taken all the broken links off, which you should have no broken links to begin with. So if you're running, most people aren't going to have 46 backlinks that are broken. Unless you have a huge website. My site's 1997, folks. It's a large website. So when I do an audit on a website, this is like a 3-month process. I audit my website every couple of years. It's nothing that I do on a day-to-day basis. If you have a small, I get a couple small WordPress sites, 25 pages. You could audit that within a week. Real easy. Fine-tune it, update it, boom. It's a snooze, man. Then you're off to buying SEO click words and all that other crap that you want to do. But when you have a large website, maintaining it is the difficult thing. It is the constant upgrade. And it's so easy to sit back and just, oh man, I'm all done with it. Boom, on to the next project. And before you know it, Google changes an analytic. Things have changed. People are using tablets. A big one that I knew about a couple years ago that I haven't even started talking about, and I just got a phone call about it the other day. Yes, it called on my phone again. And I heard about this a year ago, and I started thinking about this. But then I realized, oh my God, I have so much mobile conversion to do that the next frame scares me, and I haven't researched it hard enough. Maybe for you guys, I will. Just let me know, and I will do it. Here it is. It is Alexa and voice Googling. Okay, that's the ability where people say on the phone, Alexa, find me a balloon artist. Alexa, find me XYZ restaurant. Or, hey Siri, find me. And it's voice, having yourself in the voice directories. Yes, there are voice directories that you have to put yourself in. That means that your website has to conform to whatever wacky little requirements that they need now for again, because you are asking a specific question, you can't get very generic. You're going to have to nail yourself down. So if you're a restaurant, you just can't say, I want a restaurant near me. Yeah, you're going to get 500 of them. But you may have to say, I am a Chinese restaurant. You're going to have to narrow that down. And you're going to have your location on. You're going to have a lot of information that you're going to have into that box, because what's going to happen is Siri or Alexa is going to have to narrow it down to that customer. And again, the guy who's got all the information out there, boom, guess what? You're going to be the top 3 listed. Or what's going to happen is someone is going to buy the top 3 positions. And guess what? You're going to be in the top 6 positions. Which again, if you don't do your SEO audit, you're not going to be in any position at all to get ranked. So, quick recap. Go out, look at SEO Minion. It's an add-in. Whoop, let me move my picture so you can see that. It's a quick add-in extension for your Chrome browser. Definitely do a PageSpeed. If you haven't done a page speed by Insight, do that. That is a mandatory right there. I gotta move that picture over again. That is a mandatory requirement to do. Check Doctor Link check. Again, I like this one because it gives you a nice overview. It tells you exactly how many links, new links. This is from the last time it checked. It rescanned. I did some work on that. It found 112 more links, new links that it's found, new things, new schemes. Again, it tells me the time, everything else. Lastly, I'm going to put it out there. There are more tools out there for you to look at. Some of these are going to be paid. Some of these, actually, I found one down here. Let me go down here. It sounded really cool. I could not find, it just didn't want to work for me. And I think it's got so much crud loading up into it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It is small Where'd it go now? I forgot it here. Small SEO tools. This looked really cool, folks, but I had a hard time getting it to work. Small SEO tool. It's got individual things. It's got a grammar checker, word count in there, JPEG to Word, small. But then it goes into editing tools. If you scroll down, keyword tools, which I thought was great thing. I haven't played with this much. Keyword position, find out where that word is. Google used to do this years ago through AdWords. This all used to be free, folks. Now you got to have an AdWords account. You got to have all the crap that Google wants from you just to get a freaking word. At the old days, we used to type in a couple words, see everything we needed, and went, hey, look at this. I'm going to go after these couple words. Keyword density checker, see how many times that word is actually used on your Word site or your WordPress site or whatever page you put in there. Suggestion keywords, because sometimes you'll find that, you have an alternative word to use. Some of these things are great. I just love them because they're individual tools and you don't have to go through 3 ends. Can't guarantee all this is going to work for you. Backlink tools. Here we go. Backlink checker, backlink maker. I don't know if that's really SEO friendly anymore. That may be a black hat, not the favorite thing here. SEO broken link checker, link price calculator. Ooh, that used to be something old days ago where you'd be able to buy a link off a website from one website to another. Google frowned upon that very much. Not popular anymore. Don't pay for any link backlinks. SEO score. I tried running this. Could be my website takes too long, too big. It was just taking forever. Google page ranking checker. Again, page ranking, we used to rank it real high. You used to look at it. Not as much anymore. It's more about SEO and load time. Web page size checker. How big? Again, these are things we used to worry about. XML site. This has been updated. Formats, URL, rewriting tools. I mean, a whole bunch of little online virus scan, website screenshot generator, which is great if you're trying to, take a big shot for a presentation. Web tracking tools. Again, just a whole bunch. Proxy tools, domain tools, meta tag tools, meta tag analyzer, generator. Let's see. I love to. I'm going to have to play around with these online PDF tools, developmental tools. Unit conversion tools. Now there is binary. Man, this thing goes on forever. Online calculators, age calculator. There we go. So again, these, I'm going to put a link to this. I'll put even the small business tools in there. Folks, I have no affiliation with any of these companies here. I can't tell you if they're going to work or not. It's just something cool to play with when you're analyzing and validating your website. So do me a favor. Downtime at Christmas is a little slow for a lot of people. Take the time, analyze your website, go in there, tweak it, improve it, market it. Do me a favor. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. If not, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel that this is going to be uploaded on. So with that, you guys have a great day. It's been fun. It's been a blast. Enjoyed the talk. Hopefully next time you're going to join me online. We'll get some people online and we'll be able to do conversation back and forth. It's been a lot of me talking today. I mean, man, I don't know. This is a long day. Time to have a drink, relax, joy. Bye-bye. Be safe, be good, be healthy. Bye-bye. Make sure you click on that subscribe button and never miss a video. Subscribe now. Click the little bell and always be notified of a live broadcast. Follow me on Instagram, and if you're a TikTok fan, you'll find me under the same name, Dale Obrochta. Looking forward to seeing you on social media.